chapter, price determination. So, as we discussed, one question we'll discuss and then we'll do the new concept. So, question is, let's say there's a question: how does improvement in technology affect market for a good? So, improvement in technology means, how does improvement in technology means, how does an improvement in the way or method of producing a product would lead to change in quantity demanded and equilibrium price in the economy? So before we start writing the answer, before we start framing the answer, first you need to identify whether this improvement in technology will it affect demand or supply.
Supply.
Immediate impact, exactly. Immediate impact will be on supply because when we talk about technology, we talk from the point of view of the producer. So it will affect supply. This is rough work so that you can frame the answer well. So there will be some change on the supply side. Now you need to decide whether this change in supply will be because of change in the price of the commodity of the good or due to change in other factors.
Other other factors.
Perfect. Other factors. What happens when there is a change in other factors? Movement or shift?
Shift.
Shift.
There is a shift. Perfect. Now, improvement in technology. With because of improvement in technology, will the supply increase or decrease?
Increase.
It will increase because improvement in technology means there will be increase in efficiency of labor force, which means that we can now produce more goods and services. Since there will be an increase in supply, it means there will be a rightward shift in supply curve. There will be a rightward shift in supply curve. Clear? This much is clear. So before answering, before framing any answer, you need to do this. Let it be your rough work. This will help you identify what the exact problem is and how to frame your answer. Now, let's start with the answer, the basic format that we've done. Initially, the market for the good, market for the good is in equilibrium. PE is equilibrium price and QE is equilibrium quantity. This we know that we have to write in every 6 marker. I will differentiate the formation of the answer, whether it's a 3 marker or a 4 marker or a 6 marker. We will change some certain things in our answer. But for the time being, since this is the beginning of the chapter, this is the first time we're learning to frame the answer. I'm only telling you 6 markers because if you know how to frame or how to write a 6 marker, you will very easily learn how to make it a 4 marker or a 3 marker. I will just tell you that these things need to be deleted from the answer. So initially the market for a good is in equilibrium where PE is equilibrium price and QE is equilibrium quantity. Now, once you have written this, please draw it. So this is the downward sloping demand curve, upward sloping supply curve. This is the point where demand curve and supply curve meet. This is equilibrium point. This is PE equilibrium price, QE equilibrium quantity. Do not forget to write these x-axis, y-axis. Okay, now once you write this first paragraph, you make the diagram according to the first paragraph that we write. The next thing you got to do is go back to the question and start framing your answer now. How does improvement in technology affect market for a good? So start framing your answer with improvement in technology. There will be increase or improvement in efficiency of workers, or just efficiency would also do efficiency, which will result in fall in cost of production. Right? Is it clear to everyone? So with improvement in technology or better technology available, efficiency of the existing workforce, it will increase. That is, with the same input, they will now be able to produce more output. So with increase in efficiency, per unit cost of production falls. So with fall in cost of production, what happens? As a result, profit margin increases. With price remaining the same, a fall in cost of production would mean profit margin of the producer increases or rises, and therefore there there will be an increase in supply. Please do mention this in the bracket, that increase in supply would be a rightward shift due to change in factor other than price of the good. This is what we discussed till here, that there will be change in supply because of other factors. There will be a right first shift in supply. Now, whatever you were able to identify or whatever you have written till now, do it on the diagram. Right first shift in supply curve, go back to the diagram. Everyone look at the screen, go back to the diagram and make this rightward parallel shift. Try to ensure that this shift is parallel. And whenever there is a shift, please show it with the help of an arrow that there is a rightward shift. And if you remember the sequence, the moment you show rightward shift in demand or supply or leftward shift in demand supply, you need to come back to the framing of answer and use this line. At original price. Now again, we will try to apply the same logic. First, we will try to frame the answer without the help of diagram, and later on I will explain you the diagram as well. Now, what do you think would be the situation at original price? With demand remaining the same, so initially this was the demand, look at my hand movement, this was the demand, this was the supply. With demand remaining the same, suddenly there is an increase in supply because of improvement in technology. What do you think is the situation? Excess demand, excess supply.
Excess supply.
Sup- Excess supply. Yes. Okay, I want more kids to join in. More students, please start answering. All I hear is 2, 3 students answering. Please contribute. Okay, at original price, there is a situation of excess supply. Once you identify this, half of your job is done. You will get 1 mark for just writing this excess supply. Now we know whenever there is excess supply, this would lead to competition among suppliers. This is a fixed format. This would lead to competition among producers or suppliers, and therefore price starts falling. Now, what happens when price starts falling? That is, what happens when the price of the commodity starts changing? Is there a movement or a
Demand
shift now? First, a movement or a shift because of fall in price of the commodity.
Movement.
movement.
There will be movement. Now, when price starts falling, more consumers will join in because more consumers would now want to buy the product at a reduced price, and with price falling, number of suppliers or number of producers would decrease because with reduced price, profit margin of the producer falls and they would want to supply less. So some suppliers or producers will exit the market. So when price starts falling, there, so there will be there will be expansion of demand, DD is demand, and contraction of supply till the market till the market reaches new equilibrium E1. Now, before you write the concluding line, go back to the diagram and check whatever you've written is right or wrong. This is the diagram. I'm zooming it. Just check now. At original price, so this original price line is meeting the demand curve, sorry, supply curve. At this point, this orange line, this is the supply part. This red supply curve again does not exist now. Why? Because there is a shift in supply curve from S to S1. So the old supply curve does not exist now. It is not useful to us now. So this orange portion, this is the supply, and this price line is meeting the demand curve at this. So red portion is the demand and the orange portion is the supply. So clearly with black, with dark blue I'm showing, there is a situation of excess supply. This is excess supply. And I've told you many times, whenever you identify excess supply, excess demand, there is always a triangle. So this is the triangle that you have. And this is the top vertex of the triangle where you need to reach. Because this is the point where the economy will be in equilibrium. This is the new equilibrium at the intersection of the new supply curve and the old demand curve. Now, in order to reach here, clearly suppliers need to go down, which means contraction of supply. Consumers need to go down, which is expansion of supply. Till you reach this point, this is new equilibrium quantity and this is new equilibrium price. So you will write the concluding line as equilibrium price falls from PE to P1 and equilibrium quantity rises from QE to Q1. Equilibrium price falls from PE to P1 and equilibrium quantity rises from QE to QE1. Sorry, this is your concluding line. You will get 1 mark just for writing this because this is what the question is all about. How does it affect the market for a commodity? Market for a commodity means price and quantity demanded supplied in the economy. This is a 6 marker that you need to frame. Now, we have done around 3 to 5 questions based on similar concepts, and I've written these answers thrice or 4 times. I hope now everyone is clear how to frame the answer, what is the format, because this entire chapter is for 10 marks, and there is the highest probability that you will get at least a 6 marker from here, a similar 6 marker. Is it clear to everyone? Everyone, sure?
Yes.
If there is anyone with
Yes.
any
Yes,
doubt,
sir.
please ask me. because I will move on to the new concept otherwise. Ask me if there is any.